Hi there. I'd like to bring attention to Jasmine Warrior Princess. The page is all one word. I'd really like you to take a look at the page and help this little girl truly get the support she needs. She really is a warrior princess. Thank you very much.
It's the B, the O, the Y-L-E, the H, the E-I-G-H-T. Now add the S, that's East Los Angeles. Relax, kids, mezcalito about to handle this. The B, the O, the Y-L-E, the H, the E-I-G-H-T. Now add the S, that's East Los Angeles. Relax, kids, mezcalito about to stuck to these streets like some chewed gum.
How you doing? Thank you. First and foremost, I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Oh man, I'm hyped. I've been really professional with everyone, but I'm fucking turned up here, man. I've been listening to the game. I've been listening to Easy. I've been like smoking. I've been just watching your fights, and man, I'm ecstatic. I'm really am. So again, thank you, sir. You're putting on a hell of a show, man. You're doing the Eddie Guerrero thing in boxing. You're fucking turning up, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, that like coming into this, man. Like, I wanted to be. My thing was to entertain the people. So, like, if I could put on a show and bring a little bit of WWE into the scene, why not, man?
Dude, you're gonna obviously pull out some kind of Jose Castillo versus the Diego Corrales, that round 10. You're gonna have that moment for like one of the greatest of all time for sure. I see that coming, man.
Man, one thing that I look for in my career is having those legendary fights. Those fights that live forever that people talk about. And I'm telling you, man, I would like to have maybe a trilogy or something down the line. That's something that I want to add to my career, man.
Especially with how you're going in your main events, 100% that's gonna happen. I'm sure they'll be making it happen in the future.
I know when you say trilogy is like you probably like you stain your record a little bit, but I don't really mind it, man. It's all about making a story and making it legendary,
And that's exactly what Tom was speaking with me about, brother, is how that kind of having a perfect record is almost tarnished in boxing. You want to have those moments, and that's what brings out the greatest moments of all time. So
yeah, man, that's what people appreciate. You give people a show, you're genuine with people, and you give them something memorable from a fight. It sticks with them forever.
So that's really interesting as well, that you want that and you're looking for someone to challenge you for that loss. You're looking for that first loss almost, which is a lot of people, they kind of hide that, right? So that's pretty sick.
I mean, nobody wants to lose, right? Everybody wants that perfect record and stuff like that. But I mean, honestly, man, like only that's what keeps you relevant, I guess, in the boxing scene, having that clean record. But I just want to have point blank trilogy or not, or down the line, I just want to have legendary fights and having a good dance partner to go to toe with.
Exactly. And there's no stock lost in either the winner or loser in those fights as well. I think the stock goes up on both parties, especially including the losing party in those fights, because it's just you don't even give a shit at the end. You're on your feet. You're going looking around like, what the hell? You see the Joe Rogan like with the table, like that kind of stuff happening, man. Like that's
like, look, in those moments, I don't think nobody loses because like you're leaving it on the line. You're ready to go down in your shield. You're ready to die that night in the ring, and people feel it. People they could see that you're leaving everything for them, and that's what makes it special.
Yeah, man. You and Adan really put on a really, really excellent show, man. Went the full distance, showed how tough you both are. That rivalry was incredible. And I'd honestly like to see that again. You want to see like, obviously you won the decision and it was clear, but it would be, again, it would just be cool to see you guys run that back down the line possibly. And, maybe he gets a win off someone else, comes back off a finish, and yeah, you see that. That'd be pretty sweet.
Hey, man, that'd be dope, man. If he stacks up on some wins and later on the line, it makes it happen. Why not? I'm all for it. Like it's a good show for the people, and leading up to that fight, I loved every second of it, man. Like I like those old school fights, those 90 fights when people going like at each other, and I don't know. You kind of almost breaking the fourth wall with people in a sense because you're inviting a man, to the show, and I like that. I like having that tension, that pressure, that you got to show who you are, and honestly, I liked every second of it.
Just like one of your favorite boxers there, Peace, I think it is, Mauro Peace.
Mauro Paez.
My bad. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, how he breaks the fourth wall as well, and some of his fights are just excellent. It's comparable, and it's how you want to you look towards Eddie Guerrero performances, those legendary performances with the Paez mentality as well, man, and it just equals greatness, and that's why you are on those main events. So it's awesome.
Well, I don't. You could say I had a choice, not really, but like making him one of my guys that I look up to starting off this career. Because my dad put me in front of the TV. I didn't know nothing about boxing, you know. So he put me in front of that TV. That's the first guy that popped out, man. Besides Chavez and all those guys, he's the first guy, and he just takes you all in, man. Like he puts on a show. It shows that he having a good time, and he's in the right place when you see him fight.
Just like Roberto Duran, man, a lot of people don't know these names, right? Like it's just these incredible boxers with the heart, and they leave it all in there, and it's like your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. You know, that's what these the amateurs that are coming up too should look for, is look at these guys like yourself and anyone that's you know, moving up really high up right now, especially the pros. Look at their favorite fighters. You know, don't just go and look at Mayweather and Mike Tyson. Yes, study them all your life, but look where they learned from, including their favorite fighters too, and you find a lot of gold in that.
No, man, like those guys, like I'm glad they're the example, you know, because those guys, you just mentioned the first name or even their last name, and you already know who they are, you know, like, and even if you don't know nothing about boxing, you look at those fights and you know it's something special.
Oh, it's skin crawling, man. It's tingling, brother. Like,
Feel
and
it
do
through the skin, you know?
exactly, man. It like actually it's nuts. So
It is, man.
8 years old, man, your pops saw something, eh? You just knew. You just kind of knew.
He saw that I needed some guidance, you know what I mean? Like they do the best. I feel like they've done a great job as parents and stuff like that. But you know, I could see that I was born with a little loose screws here and there, and I always had the little fire in me. I was like fighting, and I mean, I think I see myself as growing up as being a fighter, you know. So all it took is somebody just turned my head to some comeback sports, and I was gonna gravitate towards them.
That's it, man. Like Oscar De La Hoya Gym, and how you said, growing up with all that support, and you know, even growing up in a spot where there's obstacles, you know, growing up in Mexico, and you know, it's just nothing handed to you, you know, everything was worked for. And that's what makes it taste even better when you get these victories, when you move up in the ranks, when you get closer to that green belt, man. So you know, like really congrats on just making it this far and continuing to be hungry, brother, because it's exciting for fans like myself that really dive into the sport and really like appreciate fighters, boxers, brawlers, you know, technicians, like you say, like yourself. So, you know.
No, respect, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it so much, man. Like that's what I do it for, man. I like when because I'm genuinely doing it not to say for myself, but like just because I like what I'm doing. I love what I do. Is like it feels right. The path feels right, and seeing and it's a bonus seeing people react how they react to my fights and react to my career is music to my ears, man. It inspires me to even go harder, you know.
You know, they bring in signs there. I remember I was watching the fight, and actually one of the LAPD, he was like lowering the sign, the Omar Trinidad sign, and I posted
God,
on Instagram, and I'm like, man, like just let the lady show love, bro. Like, come on.
No, man. She loves me all over a lot, man. She's seen me since I was a jit, man, and she's seen I always been a fighter, and she always been supportive. My whole family is supportive, and I really appreciate that. It makes it easier to chase what you want in life, and having that support, man. Not only my family, but people that I met that night that I didn't even know that, because a lot of people, mostly all my fights were friends or family and people that I knew, right? And after this fight, it was just people that I didn't even recognize. Sometimes I will be like, not to be disrespectful, but do I know you from somewhere? Like they told me themselves, like, no, we just came just for you. You're representing the city, so we got to come and support you, and that's heartwarming, man. That's really inspiring.
That's that game recognized game stuff, man. That it truly is, especially, you know, WBC was talking about you representing not only Boyle Heights, but moving forward representing, you know, not only the state but the country moving forward too, and how, you know, immensely proud that makes not just you but your whole family, your lineage for generations. That's something that can't be taken away. And you know, it's like if you died tomorrow, there would be no one that could step into your shoes because it's you, you know. So it's really special that you've been able to create this legacy already. And especially undefeated in LA, coming out of LA from Mexico, or growing up in Mexico with this, man. It's one of those stories that you like, someone that writes, like does combat sports journalism, just like prays for, honestly. And like how Gloria and, you know, you guys starting so young and being around a legendary gym like that, it's awesome.
No, man, it is. Like I'm glad I have stable mates around me that are inspired, you know, to get this, because everybody in the sport have the same goal, right? They have the same mission. They trying to become world champions. They trying to have the whole family, and being part of that frequency and all that. Like, man, it just you feed off it, and just I'm telling you, just makes me. I'm competitive too, so it makes me want to go harder all the time, and I'm glad I'm able to do that, man.
Abel Sanchez and Dougie too. They're saying you make it turn into a stadium in in that spot. So it's awesome, man. Especially any big shots that are landed, or even when you took one, like it's great to even though there's that professional rivalry there too, that you guys show love. You guys embrace each other after the fight, show respect, and that's what the game's about, man. At the end of the day, it really
You
is.
gotta, man. You gotta pay respect for anybody that steps into the ring. You know what I mean? Dislike them or not, you gotta. To me, leading up to this fight, the reason you could say personal, whatever, because you're in my way. It's business, and you got to take care of it that night. And I'm not gonna let them get the best of me. So after we did what we had to do for 8 rounds, we got to show love and respect, man. That's what it is. Sportsmanship.
Exactly. And on top of, trying to get where you're at, they're also, like you said, they want to put hands on you too, right? And try and do it better than you. So where you're from too, you got to back that up, man. You got a good street record, like you said, so untouched.
Oh, and then like they want what I have, and I want what champions have, so I know where they're coming from. So I see a champion on TV, I know they earned it, they got the better scars and all that, but either way, I want what they have. In the future, if I get to the top 10, top 5, and I get to that moment, I'm gonna try to take it away from them. And I get it where they come from when they see me, and I mean, it's all business, man. At the end of the day, they're just trying to better themselves and put themselves in a good position, so it's understandable.
Hunger, man. You can just see that it's good, bro. It's excellent when you can find something that you can be just starving for. No matter what, it's not enough. And no matter what, you'll even once you get the belt, fuck it, you're gonna defend it 10 times. Fuck it, 20. Whatever it is. Never enough. Never enough, right? So trying to create a legacy here, and it's something that there's no cap, no limit on. So it's just exciting, and it creates that hunger too.
No, and it's funny that you say that you always want more, because I remember when I started my career, I got that draw, right? And I was like, man, I want to win under my belt. I want to be 1-0, right? You look into the future a little bit. I got that 2-0, and I'm like, nah, I want to be 5-0. And then you get to 5-0, and you know what? I want to be 10-0. I want to hit the double digits, and then I'm 12-0. Man, I wish I was 20-0 with a belt, and already. It's never enough, man. It's
50-0 with 10 knockouts. That's the next one. That's the next one.
Yeah. Looking forward to it, man.
Brother, man, and I'm hyped, bro, because I'm coming down June 9th too, so I'm gonna be down there, and I would definitely be honored to come down and just do a little bit of filming with you guys at the gym, and just get to know you guys a little more and get that true LA experience, and bring in my pops. He's never been, had that he's never been to a boxing match, and neither have I. And it's gonna be exciting. Bringing the camera, my microphone, tripod, the whole 9 yards. So I'm gonna be walking around interviewing and filming and stuff. So I'm hyped.
He said that he's never been to a boxing fight live. He's never been. Oh
Yeah.
man, he's in for a treat for Hollywood Fight Nights, man.
He gets this too, or his first one too, man. So
It's gonna be fireworks.
hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
I won't be fighting June 9th, but I'll be in the ring July. But I won't. I wouldn't doubt that he's gonna have a good night that day.
Oh yeah, Gloria's in there too. She'll be putting it in, eh? So
Oh yeah, man. It's
yeah.
gonna be a show.
Well, fuck, and there's nothing, leaving me back from coming back for July, man, because I think I definitely got to be there for that main event, bro.
More than welcome, brother. You already know. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
stop by the gym, and we could chop it up after the fight or even before the fight.
I'll be there. I'll make sure 100% of it. It'll be top priority, man. 100%. Yeah, man. So when you came up, what was like the hardest thing besides showing up to the gym? Because I know a lot of people ask, what's the secret, et cetera, and what a lot of you say, and this is the truth, is just show up. Find someone that's going to teach you, show up, don't fuck around, and just get there, But besides that, was there anything, any injuries personally for you, any personal issues or anything? Because I know it's not just going there, man. There's things that affect your gas tank when you are working out, when you are trying to get to the gym. There's things that happen in your athletes' lives. You guys are not just, a lot of people will look at you and your fighters and they think they're made of stone, indestructible. They have no personal life. It's just train and fight, and that's it. But that's not the truth.
No, well, like one thing that was like kind of like maybe like not an issue, but some like things you had to go through. Like before starting boxing, man, there's a lifestyle you live before that, like you're so comfortable on the way you live, because as soon as you join boxing, it changes your whole life completely, and especially if you have like an end game and end goal, But yeah, like you could say that life I was living before, and and then being comfortable, and then being so like, because it's easy to I know 9 to 5 is so easy to fall into because it's an easy life. All you gotta do is work the week, get a check, live life check by check. But I wanted more, man. Like I got brought up in this fighting style and fighting life, and I, even though I was in the wrong crowd or whatever you could call it, I always thought I was a little different, you know. So I feel like I had a, in the neighborhood, man. Like not everybody has that golden ticket, you know, that talent that could take them out of there. And I feel like I had that, and I was kind of like lowballing myself if I didn't take that chance. So yeah, it took a while, man. Like took a lot of thinking, a lot of kind of like, you sometimes you don't want to jump the gun because you think about, you don't know what's gonna happen on the unknown, you know. So like it just really had to like sit down with my pops, and because my dad I can't stress this enough. Like my dad is a fanatic in boxing, man. Like I feel like his dream is happening now that he has a son that's in the sport that he loves. So like he pushed me, my mom pushed me, and they understood, they support me 100%. And here I am, man. Like it was easy to lock in. I always been a hard worker, so as soon as I step into the gym, it's easy, man. Hard work is easy for me. So now I'm here, and I'm blessed that I have a support system like this.
And just like you said too in the past, like sometimes you look at it and you're like, am I in over my head? But you got these dreams and these goals, because they are big dreams and big goals, right? So sometimes you have that second thought, but then you look back and it's just step by step, one foot in front of the other, figuratively, and especially with the
Some people
support you
might say
have.
it's impossible. Some people might say it's impossible, but like I like when they say it's impossible, because I like to make them watch and say that it's possible. All you gotta do is just change what you gotta change and just go for it. Like right now, I'm in a headspace where I feel like I could do anything. With this type of mentality, I feel like I could do anything. There's no limits, and as long as your heart is in it and you're ready to put 100%, anything's possible.
That's the truth. And Anderson Silva says too, people say he does impossible things, and he says, no, I just like to, make people think that they're impossible and just do them anyway, right? Like it's just breaking those barriers, and inspiring people too, because it is. I've spoken this with every single person I've had on, and fighting translates to life, no matter what language, no matter what, no matter what. You see someone get punched and they get back up and they fight back. You don't speak the same language, it doesn't matter. It inspires you. It really does.
No, it does, man. It's like music. You don't got, even if a song is in a different language, you know what it is about because you feel it. You feel the vibration. You feel how it makes you feel. And I feel like that's what boxing does too. Fighting does too. Combat sports.
100%. Like you said, man, it's in your blood, right? Music and boxing. So
It's in my blood, man. And I'm glad I have that in my blood, man, because it's a good balance.
it is. It really is. It's a fuel source.
Yeah, it is, man. Like what can I say, man? Like all these, I'm glad music and sports and all these outlets exist because it saves a lot of people, man, especially people that don't have guidance. That could make you like an artist or a fighter. It could be a figure, of like an example for you to chase whatever you want to chase.
100%. And like real quick, I don't like to get into myself too much. It's all about, I make this all about you guys and the fighter. But I'm facing just like a little back injury. I had some shit happen to me at work. And, I was just coming back off a first back injury. It took 5 years to kind of recover. And, lo and behold, fucking shell fell on me. So, just a little bit of bullshit. And I was going nuts. And that's how I kind of started this whole venture. I started writing and I started contacting people because I was just, I'm sitting, I can't really do much, right?
Yeah.
So doing the spine rehab, doing my stretches, and, I'm like watching fights. I'm like, fuck it. I'm doing it. So I start doing this, and like it's been incredible, but even still without the training, I've been going nuts. And I forced myself into the gym 2 nights ago, hit the bag a little bit, and it was like a medicine that nothing, like the doctors couldn't give me, because I went to the hospital for this and they gave me some painkillers and that kind of shit. And even like you go somewhere and they tell you what happens and it gives you peace of mind. Even then, I still wasn't at peace. Once I stepped out of that gym, man, after hitting the bag for 20 minutes lightly, it was like something revamped in me, man. It feels good to be doing that. So it does give people this energy, even though it's tiring.
No, it's a therapy, man. It cleanses you. You go in there. Sometimes, like everybody has their own personal issues, and sometimes you try to separate situations. You don't want to bring a negativity to a workplace or whatever. But yeah, there's been times where I felt low. I feel a little, like it's not your day type. But once you step into that gym, man, like you come out cleansed. You come out like you just went to some therapy, and it does, man. It gives you it brings you at peace. You know what I mean?
Absolutely does. It's like a cold water splash to your soul.
It's fair, man. Yeah.
Absolutely. So who's your favorite artist? Who do you listen to mostly? What's in your playlist right now?
Honestly, man, I'm random. You know, like I grew up in a very musical family, so growing up, it was like Spanish music right off the bat, right? My dad works; he's a musician, so he works corridos, you know, the Spanish music. I grew up with that. I had no choice. That's I was playing in the on the speakers, and rap, of course, hip hop, and then Latin music like reggaeton. And right now, I'm just hip hop. Like, I mean, I like listening to Frank Sinatra, all those guys, man. I appreciate all that. And yeah, pretty much anything, man. Anything that makes me get in my groove, I'm all for it.
Like you said, yeah, it doesn't have to be the same language. Just as long as it has that good vibration, it's nice, man. And
Right.
one of the best meals I've had is, you know, just sitting in a Cuban restaurant listening to Cuban music, man. And I was just
Oh,
put me
yeah.
in a place of just transcendence, and it's nice, man. It really is. I'm proud to announce a partnership with two companies, King's Fightwear and Unity Underwear Co. Both of these companies have top of the line apparel, both in combat sports and comfort. I can't wait to show you guys more of this, and you can actually use the code DREAMER for the special edition of MMA Journal Canada, issue number 7, the Dreamer Edition. Check the code and check the link in the bio. Thank you guys so much, and I want to thank the sponsors again. Thank you. Like I said, I was hyped today, bro.
It's cool, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's all good.
Right, baby. That's right. That's right. So, and that shit's good for the gym too, man. It's nice. But anyway, um, so July, is your fight announced yet, or is this kind of hush hush still?
I don't know if I could say too much because
You
I
don't
don't
mind.
really have a lot of information yet, but because I don't want to, like, say it and I'm saying something wrong. But
Hmm.
I know it's in July. I think they say July 22nd, right after my fight. That's all I know. I don't know if there's a opponent confirmed yet, but I don't think it's gonna take long. Like, I don't really pick and choose whatever they want to put me in front of me. I see a challenge, I'm all for it.
Nice, man. Okay, so yeah, at least having a date is just exciting too. So that's excellent to look forward to, man. What's your favorite thing to do in the gym when you're training? Hitting the heavy bag, doing pad work, just flowing. What's your shit?
See, I just like going there, man, and just vibe. The people that are in that gym, man, is like a family. You go in there and it doesn't even feel like work. We're conversating, we're having a good time. Of course, when it's time to work, it's time to work. But when you have that aura in the gym and that you could just flow, it feels nice. But one thing I like to do a lot, man. Of course, people like hitting mitts and they like to hit the bag, but I enjoy shadow boxing. It gets me in that mind state, imagining your opponent and imagining you're in a fight and correcting yourself, and my coach on the side telling me what to do. Feels nice, man. It really elevates your game.
It does, yeah. You don't think about movement until you start shadow boxing. When you think of an opponent, thinking of that bag as one, or utilizing the space you have behind you. Practicing missing when you're in there and doing those visualizations, visualizing yourself getting knocked down and having to get back up. Even getting down and in when you're hitting the bag, actually get back, lie down as you're gassed and get back up just to kind of go through those motions. And
Yeah, man. No, because and a fight is unpredictable. You're in the combat sport, you're in the hurt sport, so you're bound to get hit, you're bound to get dropped, and it just in that moment it's gonna show how you react and if you're built for this.
absolutely. And prior to Dan, you had 4 finishes, like just right in a row, your past 4 opponents, and each one better and better opponents, and each one you look better and better and better. So it's just this like compounded interest of the love of the sport that shows, where the more you fight, it's just the better you're getting. The more reps you do, it's the cleaner you are. And yeah,
No, and how I say it, I think the very essential thing for a fighter is to stay active. You don't really hear that anymore of prospects or even champions fighting 4 to 5 times a year, or staying in the gym, because I feel like that's I think it's one of the keys where like things that boxers mess up in is not staying in the gym. They do a big fight, they take long breaks. Like this time is my first time like in. Man, I know I've been fighting back to back for a year, but even then, when I was fighting in TJ, like I never had 2 weeks off. This is the first time I'm gonna have 2 weeks up since I don't know when, man. But even then, I go a little crazy because you really want to go in there and you're so used to training every day, running every day. And I said, now I'm running, staying active, and I don't really like to completely stop. And but yeah, like that's one of the biggest things. Like that's one of the things that helped me a lot is staying active. So like once you like fight, week later, you're already back in the gym. Because in my circle, there's no yes man at all. They tell you how it is, and they tell you your wrongs before they tell you your rights. Because when you do something right, I feel when I do something right, so they don't gotta tell me that I did something right. But that's why you have them in your corner, so they can show you where you messed up and where you gotta adjust and improve.
And that's maturity right there as well. That's what that is. It's you're there just to have that feedback on yourself as well, and that's excellent. I wanted to point out how your range management is it's so nice. It's comparable. So for MMA fans, oh, I'm sorry, prior for anyone that doesn't know, those 4 opponents that he fought was all in 1 year. That's what we're talking about, being active. So,
Yeah.
but back to the range management. It's comparable to MMA in the weight management for grappling. So you see guys controlling on the ground and not being able to get back up. There's already, we can compare boxing as well in MMA, but for people that are in jiu-jitsu, your range management is that of someone that is just, smothering with pressure on the ground, because it's just this ability of knowledge of weight and placement on your opponent and yourself, and especially once you've been touched up, just like once even slightly, like, and the crowd's going like, last minute of round 2, round 3, once it's been a little bit, you turn up real quick, but you turn up meticulously. You turn up, all of a sudden you're at 6 or 7, almost, just kind of holding ground, and then boom, 17, 18, 19, and it's just combo and pressure. Even when you're backed up against the ropes, still you're throwing pressure from behind. So it's and that just comes from reps, shadow boxing, all your practice and the years of this. So it really shows.
No, well, people honestly, man, like people had told me that, what are you thinking in there? When you're in those late rounds, or you're what are you thinking inside the fight? I tell them genuinely, man, you could say that I don't even remember half of the fight because I'm so locked in. Like I'm so locked in, and I think it's the adrenaline maybe that kicks in. But once you get hit a little bit, you catching your flow. Once you catch that flow, man, I'm just my body's in airplane mode. I'm just letting my muscle memory react, and you just go, man. Like whatever you did at the gym is gonna project up there, and I think it has.
It truly has, yeah. Like that switch turns on, and all of a sudden, "Welcome to Jamrock" starts. Out in the street, they call it murder, and it's just go time, man. It's awesome. Yeah, that was a very entertaining fight. For people that don't know, too, broke records for views on UFC Fight Pass, and it was the second most viewed thing in Canada as well for UFC Fight Pass too. So, just massive viewership, massive support too. So it's only going to get better.
No, and that was surprising to me, man. I didn't know that the biggest viewers were in Canada. That's crazy. Like to know that I'm a kid from LA, like from a place where they don't really expect so much, right? And then just touching those areas, man, like those Canada, and who knows where else they're viewing it from. It's just it's very surreal in a sense, right? That people are actually tuning in and watching me perform.
Absolutely. Well, shout out to Umar Jambekov, right? He's from Austria, so they're watching from everywhere, man, everywhere, especially with the talent that Tom's bringing on. So it's a really exciting promotion. There's no lopsided fights there. All the I was speaking with Gloria about the odds and other promotions, and sometimes it's like you look and okay, 3-1, sure, 4-1, okay, 6-1, 10-1, 12-1. You're like, what in the world? Like I might as what is this? So you just, it's good to see competitive boxing again. And I spoke with Tom about this, and I've kind of dubbed it that you guys are putting on. It's the great revival of boxing. It really is.
No, man, like I'm actually proud of being part of this promotion, right? Shout out to Tom Loeffner, 360, Mike, man, all the 360 staff. I think our stable, man, as a promotion is we're different. We're trying to bring something different to the viewers, and I'm glad that we have, because there's a lot of talent in that promotion, man. I see how all the guys is being signed, and it's full of talent, So he just makes up to, like, when you're about to tune in for a show, it's gonna be fireworks.
Absolutely. You have an incredible coach too, Don Choi. You had a really good mind behind it. It's really cool to see that as well, and how interactive. When you're locked in and you guys are in the corner as well, it's just pure absorbing of information, and you're also, on both ends. He's taking in what your work, and then quickly you relay it. Just really quick to make fine tuning adjustments on these, like. And the greatest thing about this too is it's the fastest chess game in the world, right? It's like millionth of a second adjustments.
You gotta adjust every round, every second on the fight, man. You gotta adjust because sometimes there's gonna be those 50-50 fights that whoever screws up first is the one paying the price. So you gotta learn how to adapt.
I like that you appreciate when you get caught too. You give it down like a little, like, all right, like, yeah, that's nice, baby. All right, I'm coming back though. Don't worry.
No, and call me crazy or you want to call me, but I actually enjoy when I see those little when I see my fight and I get hit, I like to replay it. I don't know because you don't really see yourself getting hit. So like it's kind of like I appreciate combat sports, right? So when you see your favorite fighter or two guys going toe to toe and they hit each other and you see how they react, that's me with myself. When I see an opponent gets me with a good shot, I replay it, man. I don't know what it does, maybe a little adrenaline but I like to. Of course, I don't want to get hit because I want to. I'm thinking of longevity in this sport, but I enjoy those little moments. I praise those little moments too.
They teach you, they really do, because then like, if there's something that you're committed to, it's something, a certain slip you do, or a shoulder roll that you do that you get caught in. It really teaches you in each step, and for a lot of fighters that I've spoken with too, they've thanked the people that have defeated them in those senses of, you taught me a lesson in that sense of not an egotistical way, but in a methodical way.
No, and you learn more of your mistakes and your losses, man. And sometimes, especially when you're heading to the top and you're getting in over your head a little bit or you get big headed, sometimes you need something to bring you back down. And sometimes that's what a loss does. Like if you lose, like Adesanya, right? When he lost to what is that guy Pereira? I don't know if
Oh yeah, Alex Pereira, yeah.
he lost and look what it did to him. He just built up a more of a fire. A lot of guys would have like cowered out and quit and hang the gloves, but he took it to the chin and manned up, man.
Bro, and Pereira coming in at like 200 pounds plus, and bro,
Animal. He looks like a android, bro. I don't know what he looks like. Like he doesn't look human, man.
his fights in glory are disgusting. His knockout of Adesanya is insane. I was scared for Adesanya. He actually just posted a video. He had an MCL injury up his knee 2 weeks prior to their fight, and he still went in there and did that, man. And again, a showman as well. You guys, it's that like-minded thing of the ability to, like he's visualized it, right? And he pulled out the bow, did his 3 shots. And that was just, I'm shivering right now, man, because it's.
Oh, and what he does, man, I watch MMA here and there. I dabble, like but like I cut up some of his fights, and I like how he even puts WWE in there too. You know how he came out with the Undertaker. So like I feel like he's trying to be a showman, but he's living in his moment. He's soaking it all in and enjoying his shine. So that's what I love to see when guys actually, because I know there's some guys that deal with it different. Some fighters they have their moment, they're serious about it. Of course, they're locked in, but him, you can just tell he's genuine. He just loves the spotlight and likes to put a show for the people.
He's quoted as saying, and I've written this on my wall, so it wouldn't come off in permanent marker. And it said, "When I have fun, I'm the best on earth."
Yeah, man.
And
it's true. Me, bro, like I genuinely love what I do. I'm glad I'm in the fighting sports, in the combat sports, and don't get me wrong. Even my mom, sometimes she tells me, or family members, aren't you scared like doing this? Like every time you get hit or we feel like something like is not going your way, sometimes like we're so scared. But I tell them, don't worry about it. I'm having fun, regardless of what it is, negative, positive. I embrace it. I know what I signed up for. I know I'm gonna get punched down the line. I know I'm gonna get punched. I mean, you cannot avoid punches in boxing, right? So when I'm up there, man, I'm just having fun. Like it might not show because we have that mean face, that locked in face, but inside, man, I'm ecstatic.
Oh, and for someone that is knowing boxing too, and I'm sure your family too, when they see you even locked in, they know that right away because they see those eyes, and that's the eyes of a licensed killer right there. It's fun to see, man. I was just rewatching your fight with Don again, and just seeing that lock in. You see it, man. The hair, it starts getting a little messy. You're sweating. You've been hit just like 2-3 times, boom, you know, it's just it locks in, and yeah, those eyes, man, even just you guys staring at each other before, you know, it you could put that up there with just like in one of the top 10 intense showdowns. You just feel that pressure in there, man. It's arena like pressure, and you performed excellently. So
Thank you, brother. No, and honestly, man, like I know I'm in for a fight. You can like guy is looking at you back like that, man, and he's ready to put it on the line. I love it. Like me, I thrive on that. Like we're gonna go at it, give people a show, and let's see, let the better man win that day. But in my side, man, I ain't losing. I'm leaving everything up there, man. I'm not leaving there with my hand without my hand being held. And honestly, like one thing that it's been running through my head. When I came in, right? When they say my name and I was doing the ring walk and I turned around and I saw all my people, man, I was like, this is crazy, bro. Like because I've been working towards a main event for like a year now. And like, finally, I literally like last year, March, I opened the show for 360s when I debuted for him. A year and a month later, I'm closing the show. And it's a blessing, man, that I actually kind of like reach what I wanted to reach. I still want more, how we said before, we still want more, but just a milestone right there. And I'm glad I was able to do that.
I don't see a better way to end that, man. That's you know, that's money, bro. That's money. I know you're a busy man, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Do you have any shout outs you want to do, or anyone that besides your coach? Obviously Don Choi and Fundamentals 19. Incredible.
Well, I just want to shout out my people, man, that's been there since day one. My family, right? My city, Boyle Heights. My team, Fundamentals 19, Don Chuy Jr., D-Comp, Arnold Senior, man, Arnold Barboza. Always been there for me, and I'm glad. And my stable mates grinding it out with me, and my sponsors, MKC, V-Dub Soul, RCs, Active Collision, Están Really Bros, MVP, Everlast. If I miss a couple of them, bear with me. I'm on the spot right now, but
down there, so I can't wait to come down and meet you guys, man. It's a blessing, and it literally is a blessing for me to be able to speak with you guys. And time is one of your most valuable things. If you're not in the gym training, you're resting up. So this means the world. It really, really does, from the bottom of my heart. It really does.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. This means a lot to me too, man. You give me those questions and let people kind of know a little insight about me, and I really appreciate it.
I one more thing too is I like to, you guys put it all on the line. You guys put it all on the line since day one. And it's a disrespect to the sport if we don't do our due diligence to look you guys up properly, to give you guys, you know, I don't want to ask you the same questions that everyone else does. How do you feel after your win? You know, it's the same shit from everyone, brother. So I like to chop it up properly and make sure I know my shit. And I hope I do you guys right by that. So
thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. It really goes a long way, man. And it goes unnoticed. Thank you, man.
The fucking, oh my goodness, the main event, the man, Omar Trinidad. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate it. Boyle Heights, stand the fuck up.
You can say that again, brother. Thank you, man.
We'll talk soon again, man. Appreciate you. Take care.
All right, brother.
It's
Likewise.
the B, the O, the Y-L-E, the H, the E-I-G-H-T. Now add the S, Basis, Los Angeles. Relax, kids, mezcalito, better handle this. The B, the O, the Y-L-E, the H, the E-I-G-H-T. Now add the S, Basis, Los Angeles. Relax, kids, mezcalito, better. Stuck to these streets like some chew gum, food, what rhymes I spit out. Flavors used up like new drugs, living out my dreams, walking DMT, stalking a weak MC. Stop talking, you ain't popping, you ain't dropping no quality, only dropping the stock.